This is ABN TV, transforming your world.
Good evening and welcome to EBN Prime Edition. My name is Gaston Wabomba. I'll be taking you through what has been happening in the entire country. And we'll be beginning with a very sad story. Bishop Allan Kiuna, the founder and the lead pastor of Jubilee Christian Church, has passed on after battling with multiple cancer issues. Bishop Kiuna had been receiving treatment abroad and previously announced his healing from cancer in 2023. His journey through illness began in December 2022 when he traveled in the United States of America for treatment. Beside the tough journey, he returned to the country with a report that his treatment was successful during a conference. Earlier, Bishop Kiuna acknowledged his fight against cancer in 2019 and announced his healing while standing on the church's altar. Bishop Kiuna leaves behind his wife Kathy Kiuna and their 3 children, Vanessa, Jeremy, and Stephanie. Messages of condolence have continued to pour in for the family and friends regarding the death of the JCC Church bishop. One person died on the spot and 59 others were injured after a passenger train was involved in an accident at around the Magadi area of Kajiado County. The accident involved a train heading to Kajiado town from Magadi before being derailed and rolled over. A loud crash was heard as passengers screamed for help. This is believed to be caused of the accident is the significant damage to the railway track along metal scrap traders and poor visibility of the rail track that heavy rains in the area. The injured were transported to Kajiado Referral Hospital for treatment, with tens of several injured being transferred to Kenyatta National Hospital for specialized care.
Saa moja na nusu kufika pale, nilikuta gari imeanguka, imeroll, watu wameshindwa kutoka, nikabidi nikapasua dirisha, nikawafungulia wakakuja, lakini kuna baadhi ya watu wameumia. Kwanza kabisa hii daraja ndiyo imesababisha hii ajali, sababu daraja ni ya mambao, gari pia inabeba mizigo na inabeba abiria. Tulikuwa tunaomba kama kuna uwezekano ya kampuni walete gari ambayo ni ya kubeba abiria tofauti na gari ya kubeba mizigo, sababu unaona hii gari kianguka, si mara ya pili saa hii gari kianguka hapa, na hakuna mwelekeo ambao wanasema kamili watakuwa.
Na kwanza tunasema pole kwa waathiriwa, kwa sababu tumepata habari tayari kuna wale wamepoteza maisha, na hii mahali ambayo hii gari imeanguka sio mara ya kwanza. Hata mkiangalia upande hii iko bogi ilianguka tu ndani, na ukarabati ya hii daraja haijafanywa. Na wale wanahusika sijui kama ni kampuni ya Magadi Soda ama ni Kenya Railways.
Gari la moshi lilikuwa limebeba mabehewa la mizigo na pia lilikuwa limebeba watu takriban 100. Na ajali lilipotokea watu 46 waliweza kupata majeraha, na hadi sasa mtu mmoja ameripotiwa kwamba amepoteza maisha, na wote ambao wamehusika na ajali waliletwa hapa katika Referral Hospital, wanatathminiwa, na wale ambao wanapatikana kwamba wako serious wanapelekwa katika hospitali ya Nairobi.
Most of the patient by and large are stable with just soft tissue injury, but we have quite a number, around 10, that we are referring to Nairobi Hospital because they have multiple fractures and head injury, but the ones that are stable are going to be treated and discharged today.
And may their soul rest in peace. Moving on swiftly, President William Ruto has signed the IEBC and Commission Bill into law. The bill passed by Parliament following recommendations from the Reconciliation Committee's report will facilitate the appointment of 6 new commissioners to help restore public confidence in the electoral system. The president has been under pressure from Gen Z youth to appoint IEBC commissioners to begin the process of removing MPs who have violated Kenya's wishes by passing the 2024 financial bill. The ceremony took place at KICC and was attended by opposition leaders led by Mr. Raila Amolo Odinga.
The signing of this bill paves way for the establishment of the selection panel for the appointment of IEBC commissioners. The IEBC remains a cornerstone of our democracy, responsible for overseeing regular elections at various levels, and on the overall, ensuring that our electoral cycle is managed transparently and administered in an impartial, neutral, efficient, accurate, and accountable manner. I concur with leaders who have said there must be professionalism and integrity as part of the cardinal principles of the men and women who will be charged with the responsibility of overseeing our elections. The National Dialogue Committee, established last year, resulted from the closing of ranks across the political divide to forge consensus on a number of priority national issues, including the reconstitution of the IEBC. Today's assent of the IEBC Amendment Bill therefore marks a significant step in the actualization of one of the recommendations of NADCO and testifies to our country's ability to navigate difficult, complex, and sometimes divisive issues that could undermine our national cohesion, undermine our stability and security if we leave it unattended.
We agreed when we sat together, myself and Brother William Ruto, that we would follow the route of dialogue. And that is the reason why NADCO was set up. NADCO proceeded to dialogue and ended up with a very voluminous report which has contained some very fundamental recommendations. This bill that has now been signed into the law today is just one of those. But the NADCO report contains very many issues which are at the heart of the people of Kenya today. If you see the issues which are being raised by our youth, most of them are actually contained in the NADCO report. But if this NADCO report is implemented fully, you'll be able to address all those issues which these young people are raising.
And the bill seeking to introduce pivotal reforms aimed at refining operation framework at the IEBC. The proposed amendment underscores the necessity to enhance transparency, efficiency, and accountability within the Commissioner's processes. The expansion of the selection panel for the 7 to 9 members and revising the nomination process nominated in the competitive protest by professional bodies, for example, PAC, Political Parties Liaison, ISPAC, Inter-Religious Council of Kenya, delegation of specific phrases for definition of chairperson to streamline and understand the roles within the Commission. The Act also expands the criteria for appointments, elimination of provision allowing the vice chairperson or any member to act as a chairperson in the event of a vacancy. The fourth thing that will be highlighted will be reduction of term of secretary of the Commission from 5 years to 4 years. The Act also introduces a mandatory review of the conduct of general election, and also the sixth thing being the panel will have a 90-day deadline to compile or complete recruitment tasks within which will be seen very possible and extension subject to parliamentary approvals. President William Ruto and opposition leader, His Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, have urged the youth to select 50 people to participate in a dialogue involving 150 individuals to find a solution to national challenges. Issues being discussed include corruption, national debt, economy management, and unemployment. This statement was supported by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who urged the youth to stop demonstrations and embrace the opportunity for dialogue. The sessions will also start next week and involve representatives from various sectors such as political parties, professional associations, religious leaders, and activists.
As a way of charting the future from the current situation we are facing, I welcome all the leaders here, and I have heard what they have said this morning, and all other stakeholders working together for us to address the current economic situation through a broad-based political arrangement and to rally the country forward. And that's the reason why I set up a committee to work and audit our debt, for us to interrogate our expenditure, and for us to work on anti-corruption. I want to encourage Parliament to expedite the conflict of interest bill that will support our anti-corruption measures, especially in relation to public officers. And I am hopeful that these are some of the conversations that we will be engaged in going forward.
In the situation we are in, we want to call upon the people of Kenya that violence begets violence. Now that the president has accepted to have a discussion with our young population, with our leaders, we call upon the people of Kenya to give dialogue a chance, to give consultation a chance, get off the streets, stay away from destruction of property, because Kenya is greater than all of us.
I think that Kenya deserves better. The issues of employment, the issues of discrimination, the issues of corruption, the issues of gender, and so on, issues that need to be addressed in the wider forum.
And Azimio Co-Principal Kalonzo Musyoka has called for sacking of Inspector General of Police, Mr. Japhet Koome, following the police brutality meted on Kenyans during the opposition protests that saw at least 70 people killed during the Gen Z protests that claimed 41 lives. While speaking at KICC during their session into law of the IEBC Amendment Bill, Kalonzo commended police actions, saying the people's voices need to be heard.
Following the 2023 enactment of the finance bill and the riots that took place, where we lost people, 75 of them, property was destroyed, and the country was in a state of a shock. As Azimio la Umoja One Kenya, our number one topic was the high cost of living. Bakimani and the team on Kenya Kwanza convinced us that it was a government responsibility and the opposition had nothing to do with discussing the high cost of living. I hope that in the light of recent developments, my friend Kimani would have revised that thought. Because again, 2024, Finance Act and the riots, and again we have lost 41 young Kenyans. This time they came in the form of Gen Z, but they are Kenyans. They have a right to belong. In fact, they are carrying the national flags. They have done it better than we did when some of us nearly got killed. Mr. President, I want to urge that we look at our country afresh. there's no way we can wish away the Gen Z revolution. If we are not careful, all of us will get thrown out by the Gen Zs, because they say we have come of age. You say that we are leaders of tomorrow, we are leaders now. We can't wish them away. But now is the time. The country is at a crossroads. Can we, for a beginning, even in order to bring the country to normalcy, can you, Mr. President, order the Inspector General of Police? If he doesn't resign, can he remove the police from the streets? Can the army get out of our streets and back to the barracks?
Well, with that story, Kenya Revenue Authority has collected a total of 2.4 trillion in revenue in the financial year that just ended in June 2024, translating into an 11.1% growth compared to the previous financial year. However, the taxman missed its revenue targets for financial year 2023-2024 by a whopping 380 billion. KRA targeted to collect at least 2.7 trillion by the end of the financial year 23-24. The maximum, the taxman collected just about 2.1 trillion in 2023-2022, but also missed the revenue target by 100 billion. As of December 2023, KRA had hit the target at 1 trillion mark for 2023 financial year. The authority said the growth translates to a performance rate of 95.5% against the target. The taxman said the revenue was commissioned by multiple economic shocks. The factors included depreciation of the Kenya shillings against the US dollar, rising bank lending rates, and international conflicts that disrupted supply chains, among others. I mean, that is commendable. Just about 95.5%. That is commendable for KRA. Kericho County Assembly has now approved an impeachment motion against the County Secretary, Wallace Bor. Out of the 47 Kericho MCAs, 40 approved the motion and 7 were not in the House when Kapsoa's ward representative Paul B moved the motion. Speaker Patrick Mutai said 7 were absent with apology. However, the Assembly resolved to establish a special committee to investigate the allegations against Bor. Dr. Mutai directed the committee to give the County Secretary a hearing. That impeachment motion had been supported by 1/3 of the Assembly.
At some point, all this time round, we've been watching him on his conduct about the running of this county. He being the chief advisor to the county governor, that one Wesley K. Bor, in some allegations, we've found out that he had to move one Jacqueline, who was the head of HR in this county. We are lucky that the said lady was moved, and she asked to be given permission to go elsewhere and seek for better opportunities. Dr. Wesley Por has been, threatening staff, moving them, from one place to another, without any reasonable reasons as to why he's moving them.
I've never seen a motion that is being supported unanimously by all the members of the county assembly. Members did sign the impeachment, and it went through all the procedure. So what we are waiting now is that now a select committee, the move of the motion has been able to convince the honorable members of the county assembly that he has a case, and therefore the county assembly is now proceeding to form a select committee of not more than 5 members to go and look at those allegations that has been indicated in that motion. And I want to assure you that we, the people of Kericho, we voted for this governor. We are the supporters of this governor because this is the governor that the people voted for unanimously. I sat through the ad hoc committee that was investigating the mismanagement of Londiani around the funds that was meant for the victims and those who lost their lives in that accident. And this man was always appearing in every other thing. Number 2, we had a Kazi Mtaani. You remember there was an ad hoc for Kazi Mtaani where 39 million belonging to people of Kericho were lost through some companies that were associated also with this guy.
The chairperson of the Budget Committee in the National Assembly, Ndii Nyoro, has sought to assure Kenyans that some vital programs that have been factored in the budget will not be affected by the budget cuts. The MP has said as his committee prepares to review the budget to accommodate reduced revenue following the withdrawal of the Financial Bill 2024, in a variety of programs will remain untouched as others are restructured. He said the review will see the budget cut by about 177 billion, which will affect some of the programs planned by the government.
Ya kufanya maneno ya budget katika nchi ya Kenya. Na tunafanya kwa sababu mnajua ya kwamba Wakenya wametuambia tukanyange polepole kiasi. Wakatuambia hii maneno ilikuwa tufanye kazi na ile pesa iko. Na kwa hivyo itabidi budget ambayo tulikuwa tumepitisha tuiangalie iambatane na ile pesa ambayo iko katika nchi. Sio ndio haki? Na katika hiyo mimi nataka nihakikishie Wakenya, kwa sababu tutakata budget yetu na kama bilioni 177. There are things that we have already agreed that even as we cut our budget, those issues must remain because they are very important to the bosses of us, our bosses, who are the people of Kenya. Jambo la kwanza, tunataka ile pesa ambayo iko hapo ya maneno ya maziwa, 1.5 billion shillings. Hiyo kama chairman wa budget na hakikishia wakulima wote, hiyo pesa hatutakata. Kwa sababu tunataka new KCC idhibiti bei ya maziwa isiende chini ya shilingi 50 per liter. Ile pesa inaingia kwa mfuko ya mkulima. Jambo la pili ni fertilizer. Fertilizer subsidy ya 10 billion bado itakaa. Kwa sababu tunataka wakulima wote waendelee kulima bila taswishi. Wakulima wa majani chai, wakulima wa kahawa, wakulima wa chakula kama wahidi wapewe fertilizer na bei nafuu. Jambo lingine ambalo tumekubaliana, walimu wetu wa JSS wamekuwa wamejitolea sana katika kazi yao. Na wote ambao ni 46,000 wamekuwa interns. Hiyo maneno lazima tusimame nao. Kwa sababu hata tukikata budget pahali kwingine, tunataka haki ya JSS interns idumishwe na wapewe kazi ya permanent and pensionable, kwa sababu already wamejitolea kwa muda mrefu sana.
Moving swiftly to Bungoma County, the Bungoma County government has urged to amend laws addressing issues of physically challenged community as the only way to enable them to benefit from the funds besides government aid. Speaking at an event that brought together the community from Chisakaki ward in Mount Elgon constituency, Chisakaki Friends Church, sponsored by the New Career organization, they say they have struggled for over 3 years, especially seeking services at the Bungoma County offices. They have called the relevant departments to address the issues promptly. Additionally, they have urged the public to engage in tree planting, stating that climate change has been caused by indiscriminate tree cutting and environmental pollution. They believe the government should involve them in the community support programs similar to those who have engagements with elderly over 70 years, arguing that many of them are unable to sustain themselves financially. From Bungoma County, we come back into Nairobi. Intern doctors demand employment from the Ministry of Health have continued to protest, citing government's failures to honor their employment and salary agreements at the Ministry of Health's headquarters. The doctors accused the government of breaching their return to work agreement, where the government was supposed to employ them within 60 days after they called off their strike and resumed work. And now they want employment contracts for 1,500 intern doctors and salaries agreed upon in the 2017 collective bargain agreement, which we call the CBA. The doctors have vowed to camp and even sleep outside Afya House until their demands are heard since yesterday.
There's no way you will post half and leave the other half. All of us have been out, and even before the finance bill, we were being told the same thing, that there's no money. This is the time the president said he was going to reorganize the budget. He must produce that money for us so that we go and treat the hustlers that are dying in the hospital.
We've been out here for long, like 7-8 years. Our parents have funded our schooling. It's not like we've been funded by other people, and they've literally invested in us so that later on we can invest in them too. And for them to say we're posting 350 is really small. That's the medical interns. 350 is really small. So do you cater for one university or all universities? You don't even know what criteria they're using.
So here today, doctors, we're at a point that we have to strategize and get things done. I know we have an impasse. And as KMPDU, we are retreating to have a sitting with the National Advisory Council leadership to discuss the mechanisms to which we can implore to resolve this matter once and for all.
Swiftly, residents of Kayole and Naivasha in Nakuru County live in fear due to increasing number of attacks where an individual stabs them in the face before hitting them on the head with stones. Many women came out to protest, demanding security agencies to arrest and punish the culprit. According to the women, more than 5 cases were reported last weekend. Other women claim they want justice for the victims as women in the area can no longer continue their daily activities.
Mimi ni mkaaji wa hapa Kayole Naivasha, na hapa tumetokea kama wamama ni kwa sababu tumekuwa na shida ya insecurity. Hapa kuna mwanaume anatembea na motorbike, ako na mbao kiasi hii, alafu iko na msumari, anadunga wamama na wasichana, only female ndio anadunga. So tumejitokeza siku ya leo ili tupate haki yetu kwa sababu serikali imenyamaza na hatuoni kitu inafanyika. Tumepiga ripoti, tuko na evidence. Leo asubuhi tulikuwa na mkutano na watu 3 already wamejitokeza, wale wamedungwa, na serikali hakuna kitu inatufanyia. Sasa tunataka haki yetu, huyo mwanaume ashikwe kwa sababu mpaka mchana juzi amedunga mama na hapa akiendea mtoto shule. Avanya alidunga mama, mtoto akipiga nduru akadunga mtoto, na sana anadungana hapa karibu na macho. Everybody amedungwa hapa karibu na macho. So tunataka haki yetu, ashikwe na ifikishwe kotini, na tunataka haki ya wamama wa Kayole Naivasha.
Na ninahuzunika sana mimi kama mama ambaye anajilelea watoto wake, nahuzunika sana kwa sababu nimeshuhudia na nimeona hilo tokeo. Kuna rafiki yangu ambaye alidungwa karibu na jicho, na ana make sure amekudunga karibu na jicho ili upoteze fahamu. Alafu walipompiga wakachukua mawe wakaanza kumpiga. That friend of mine was rescued, na mzee wa nyumba 10 ndio alitoka, akawa by accident anatoka, akawaona wakimpiga. Walipomuona wakatoroka, na walikuwa 2 na motorbike.
Hii mambo ya huyu mkora imekuwa sugu kwa sababu imetuweka wasiwasi kama wananchi. Watoto shule hawaendi mapema, iko watoto wanaenda milimani saa 11, na tumekuwa na uoga kabisa. Inabidi mzazi usindikize mtoto mpaka kwa barabara, na msa ingine maybe umuende. Na hiyo kitendo inafanyika na mtu wako na nduthi. Sasa hata tunaogopa watu wa nduthi. Ukiona mtu wa nduthi unaanguka kwa majani, jujui ni nani. Nilikuta mama jana hapa juu wanatoroka, ukisikia nduthi nyuma ni kuanza mbio, jujui ni nani. So tungependa asasi za serikali za usalama take measures, watafute huyu mtu, washikwe, at least mama tukue na peace of mind, na watoto waende shule wakiwa safe.
Allow me to switch gears and get into Mombasa County. Over 40 families were left homeless in Bamburi 7-Star, Mombasa County, after their homes were demolished in the middle of the night under police protection, despite a court case regarding the land. The victims claim that despite the using government institution to seek justice, tycoons have continued to use their guns to demolish their homes and even steal property.
Tulifanya utari kuona tayari watu wameshakuja, ilikuwa hali ngumu, maana hata watoto walikaribia kufa. Kama mimi tayari nilitaka kurepiwa, maana kama watu wakiingia basi hawataki kujua sima, hawataki kujua nyama, hawataki kujua mtoto wa mgongoni. Yeye anataka kufunja.
Kuna watoto wadogo, kuna vitu vilipotea, birth certificates, notification of birth, school certificates, na jambo hili anayefanya hili jambo si kuwa ni yule mwenye kipande cha hichi ardhi, ni mtu ana interest zake za kibinafsi, anashirikiana na wachache wa usalama.
Hakika hili jambo ni la kushangaza, maana mimi nimekaa hapa karibu miaka 20 na ninaishi hapa kama nyumbani.
Haya yanaendelea si haki na si sheria. Maana hakuna demolition inaweza fanyika wakati saa 9 za usiku. Ilali wanafahamu kuwa kuna watu wanalala kwa shamba. Sasa juzi wanshika mpaka vijana kama 13. Wale vijana waje pelekwa kotini. Wako incommunicado. Hatujui wako wapi. Kuna watoto wamejeruhiwa. Kesi hiko na mwenye tuwafanya naye kesi si aliyekuja akatuvunjia. Ni mwanasiasa ana interest za mashamba.
Hatujui wametoka wapi, wafanya kuona nyumba inavunjwa na wewe uko ndani, ambayo hiyo ni hatari. Kuna watoto walioumia, kuna wengi walioumia, na sisi tuko hapo. Makaratasi ya watoto wamekanyaga na wale matinga wamechoma kila kitu. Sasa watoto wako wamekaa hapa. Jemeni, naomba serikali itusaidie, maana hawa watu hawaji mchana. Kama wangekuja mchana tukaongea nao, lakini hawa wanakuja usiku ambao sisi hatuwezi tukajitetea.
Sasa sisi tuuliza serikali, walisema kuwa mambo na bomoa hakuna. Kama ni kubomoa mpaka kikao kikae, kama ni sub county committee iende kwa county committee, security committee wa assess. Hakuna assessment imefanyika, na hapa watu wamekuwa wakiishi muda wote. Ni shida tu, dhiki tu tunaiona. Sasa sijui kama rais wetu anaweza kunisikiza ama waziri wa usalama wa ndani. Haya mambo yanaendelea Pwani, anaijua.
Serikali nawaomba mtuhurumie, maana tumechoka kabisa, tunanyanyasika.
Moving on swiftly, Kilifi Governor Gideon Mung'aro has urged border riders in the county to join savings and credit societies, which we call SACCOs, to save their income and promote personal development. Speaking at Gogoni in Magarini sub-county, Governor Mung'aro said his government has abolished some border taxes to encourage them to join SACCOs to save their hard-earned money. He added that 8 border SACCOs have been registered, with plans to have a border SACCO in every constituency.
Serikali ya kaunti iliahidi kuwawezesha waendeshaji wa bodaboda kwa kuunda vyama vya ushirika vya bodaboda. Katika mwaka wa fedha uliopita, vyama 12 vya bodaboda vilisajiliwa, hivi kuongeza jumla ya vyama vya ushirika vya bodaboda kufikia 27. Bado nasimama na ahadi yangu niliyowapa wakati wa kampeni kwamba wote waliojiunga na vyama vya ushirika vya bodaboda hawatalipa ule ushuru wa leseni ya bodaboda kwa county.
From Mombasa County, we get into Makueni County. In a move to improve education in the country, Makueni County initiated a plan to employ 453 early childhood education teachers. It is a relief for those teachers that, after being in contractual employment as the county governor, Mutula Kilonzo Jr. now employs them on a permanent contract with pension. The Governor Kilonzo congratulated the teachers for their perseverance in ensuring early childhood students receive appropriate education to improve the education sector.
These teachers take care of over 35,000 ECDE learners across the county. They are building a generation. Your Excellency, this will lead to a significant impact to our children's learning experience.
Going forward, as teachers who belong to a scheme, you must not only serve in your ward, but you are now eligible to being transferred from one center to another and may now serve in any part of Makueni like any other public officer.
Today, you are attracting financial institutions to you. The only mistake they should not do is that a teacher wakes up tomorrow na unajikuta umeingia chama fulani bila wewe kujua.
In January this year, we began this journey to convert the first cohort of 497 ECD teachers. I promised the rest of you will have their day in the sun. Today is your day. This is the day the Lord has made for you. The conversion is not just a usual political event or political ceremony. This is a heartfelt recognition of your work. It is also a way of me as leader of this county of saying we are sorry for taking too long to do this. Both at county and at national level, we want our teachers treated well. We want our teachers remunerated well, because they are performing a duty of preserving the future of this country. And that, for me.
And well, that story marks the end of our bulletin tonight. Allow me to say a big thank you for always being company with us. We really appreciate you that have been watching us from home. We want to say a big thank you, Vero Vugutsa from Home. We appreciate a big time. Malin, Ayana, Melki. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, Gasheri, thanks for always supporting the hustle. The person who's been behind the camera, Odipo. And of course, Mose in the transmission room. We appreciate you. Till next time, my name is Gaston Wabomba. Good night.